Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of the rebuild on my 2002 Honda CR250. In the first video, I basically went over all of the parts that we have acquired, which you can see back here, and we got the frame ready to drop the motor in, so we got it nice and cleaned up. As you can see over here, it is looking really nice and shiny, ready to put this beautiful motor in it. So that's gonna be the objective of today's video. And I think I'm gonna throw the triple clamps on as well, just for aesthetics, because I can't wait to see what the triple clamps look like on this thing. So without further ado, let's just jump into it and get into doing that stuff now. So I think first thing up is I wanna get these triple clamps on the frame because I'm just dying to see how it's gonna look. So let's go ahead and do that. I know in my last build video, you guys were sticklers on pointing out the grease on the triple clamp bearings. So as you can see, I absolutely packed these things, did the old hand pack technique on them, so they are absolutely filled with grease, bottom as well as top. So don't worry guys, plenty of grease in this bad boy, and it's gonna look sick on there, so let's go and do that. Yep, I was right. That looks sick. Woo! I'm pumped on that. It's times like these where I'm very happy that I have the Risk Racing adjustable stand down here, because I wasn't anticipating how much heavier the front end of this frame was gonna be with the triple clamps on, and it started to tip forward. So I just adjusted the front of the stand upwards a little more. You can see it's on an angle now, and this thing is solid. It's not falling forward anymore. So that's really cool. If you guys are doing a bike build, that is a great application for using the Risk Racing stand. It's pretty awesome. I was considering putting the radiators on next, but that's just gonna add more weight to the front end, which is gonna make it more tippy. So I'm gonna throw the engine in, and then I'll probably throw the swing arm on after that, just to kind of balance out the weight a little bit more and keep it more level on the stand. And then maybe I'll do the radiators after that. But it's finally time to drop this bad boy in there. Cannot wait. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this one-handed though, so I'm gonna set the camera down and then do the thing. All right, let's do it. That is not the easiest one-man job, and it is looking so nice in there. It goes perfectly with the triple clamps. That's kind of why I wanted to put those on, so I could get the red on red accents and just see how it's gonna look. Now that all the motor mount bolts are in there, it's time to snug everything down. I don't have a really nice torque wrench yet, so I'm just kind of snugging them to feel, and then once I get out to California with the team, I'm gonna use one of their really nice torque wrenches to get all those cinched down perfectly, so that we don't lose anything along the way. But yeah, I'll put the nuts on these, get them cinched down, and then move on to the next piece of the puzzle. All right guys, all the nuts are just kind of snug down, and I cannot be more stoked with how good this thing looks. Like honestly, it feels amazing to kind of have it in this stage. I mean, like I've said a million times before, I'm not a master mechanic or anything. I don't try and fool myself and pretend that I am one. Apart from the 125 last year, this is really my first like project bike where I'm tearing it down to the frame, taking a motor out, putting it back in. And the 125 was really just to test the waters. I didn't do anything too gnarly with it or anything. I left most of the stuff on, just took the motor out and put it back in to clean it up. But this one is like full on gnarly race motor, insane build, and I'm so stoked with how it looks in there. Once again, Adam did an incredible job with this motor, as well as Millennium Technologies. That red anodized Fathead in there looks amazing. Thank you to Fathead Racing. Thank you to Boyson for helping out with some parts in this thing. Thank you to Wiseco, ProX, everyone who had something to do with this motor going in here. Seriously, I cannot be more stoked with that, and it's starting to look amazing. It's actually starting to look like a dirt bike again, which is so exciting, and it's getting me really stoked to take this thing for its first rip, which hopefully won't be too much longer. Like I said, we're actually leaving tomorrow morning to head out to California to start training with the team out there. So in a time crunch to get this done and then head out there, and once the suspension shows up, we're gonna throw it together and shred it for you guys. But of course, we still have some work to do today. I think the next thing we're gonna do is throw the swing arm on to balance out some of that weight, and then we'll get the radiators on, and we'll see how long we are in the video at that point and kind of go from there. But as you guys can see over here, the swing arm was actually pretty gross when I first got this bike. So I did actually have this thing vapor blast, but as you can see, it kind of left this like hazy tint on it, almost like it's like really cold and there's dew on it, but that's like permanent on there. So I'm gonna take some Scotch-Brite to it and get it shined up. I kind of did it to this side already, and as you can see, it looks absolutely perfect. So I'm gonna get Scotch-Briting on that and then throw it on here. Alright guys, well that didn't really do a whole lot. So I think I'm going to hit it with a little bit of Mother's aluminum polish and see if that does the trick, because it still just has that little bit of haze on it and I'm not really too stoked on that. So gonna give this a shot and see what it does. Alright, well, that helped it out, made it look a little bit better. I'm at least happy with the results. So yeah, we'll go ahead and throw this thing on the frame. I think I want to throw on the chain guides, upper and lower ones, just so it's a little bit easier to do it off the bike. And then we'll stick it on the frame. Front chain guide, let's throw it on there. Oh man, doing this one-handed is a struggle. All right, come on. Okay, nice. Let's get that bolted in. I swear this bolt kit is amazing. It even comes with all new hardware for the chain guides. Like, that's crazy. When I was taking it apart, I actually forgot that I needed these, and it just so happens that they came in the bolt kit. So, really sick. Let's get them on there. Okay, got that boy on. I forgot that I did not get a new rubber insert for the lower chain guide, so I'm gonna have to wait to put that one on. And I also forgot to mention that all of the bearings and everything on the swing arm and the linkage were refreshed using Pro X kits. So everything's refreshed, new bearings in everything. This thing is going to be completely fresh. So thank you to Pro X. This thing is going to be feeling like a brand new dirt bike. Let's get the swing arm onto the frame. I'm also very, very disappointed. When I got this bike, I noticed that the chain adjuster bolts were really just not correct at all. They were actually way oversized and really weird looking. And some fresh ones did come with the bolt kit, as you can see. But I'm pretty disappointed. I think the previous owner actually drilled these out bigger for some reason, because these just slide right in and out. They are way too small, so kind of bummed about that, but I guess bigger chain adjuster bolts are what we're gonna have to get. No big deal, I guess. All right, more and more, little by little, this thing is starting to look more and more like a dirt bike. Coming together quite nicely for me here. So now that the swing arm is on, I guess it's time to put the radiators on, and maybe we'll get the radiator hoses mocked up too. One of the radiators is quite a bit twisted up. You'll see right over here, the right side radiator. So I'm not really sure how well it's gonna line up with the radiator braces that we have, but that's kind of why I want to get them mocked up in this episode and then get the radiator braces put on to see if they fit, or maybe to see if we have to try and straighten this one out a little bit, or maybe just get a new one, because with it bent up this bad, I'm not sure how long it'll last before it starts leaking anyways. So yeah, we'll get those put on and then the radiator braces and go from there. Alright, so we got the radiators on there. Now this is the part I'm interested to see. We got these Works Connection radiator braces, got them powder coated by Elite Powders down in Florida to kind of match the theme that we're going with here, get some more black pieces on there. And as you can see, this radiator is a little bent up, so I'm interested to see if this is going to line up correctly. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. I think if we get these two front bolts in first and then maybe use a little bit of persuasion, we can get that to line up with that back bolt. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, and hopefully we don't damage the radiator to where it starts leaking or anything. Oh my goodness. All right, well, after some major persuasion, we did get it to line up. I had to have my dad come out here and put that bolt in because I literally had to use all my strength to get that thing lined up. But actually, it's looking pretty dang good now, and let me tell you, Works Connection did a great job. That radiator is not going anywhere. In hindsight, maybe I should have put these radiator hoses on first, but I think it shouldn't be too big of an issue getting those on, and I can always take it off quick and put it back on anyway. So glad to see that that's going to line up for me. I haven't actually ridden this thing yet, so I don't know if that radiator is leaking anyways, but at least we got it to line up for mock-up purposes, and if we have to get a new radiator, not a huge big deal, but hopefully we can reuse this one. So now it's going to go on to the other side, and that one should be a bit easier because that radiator is in much better condition. Alrighty guys, well, went ahead and got the red radiator hose kit all hooked up and everything. I was able to do it with the Works Connection radiator braces on there, so it was a little bit tougher to get my hands in there. Actually did have our first little casualty with the radiator fins. Those things are sharp, definitely got me good, but man, I'm so happy with how this thing's turning out. It's looking so sick. Absolutely loving the color scheme so far. It's kind of hard to decide what color to make everything when they're all off the bike because you're not really sure like how exactly things are gonna look, but I am so happy with how this thing is turning out. It's looking absolutely amazing. Definitely coming together in a hurry here, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. But guys, I think that's mostly gonna do it for this video. We made a lot of progress. Basically got all the stuff that's hard to put on, so that's really good. In the next one, I'll be putting all the accessory and like controls type stuff on. So over here, we still have all the braking systems, all of the controls, handlebars, throttle tubes, all this sort of thing, the grips. And then we got the little accessory pieces like the hour meter, the shift lever, all that sort of stuff. So, and then I'll probably put the airbox and the Electron carburetor on just to, you know, keep everything on the bike while I'm traveling out to California. I'm gonna have to take that stuff back off when I get out there to swap those carburetor hoses. And I guess that's really the only reason I'm gonna have to take it back apart. But yeah, I'll get all that stuff put on in the next video, head out to California, and then we will await the arrival of the suspension. And once that stuff comes in, you know what's coming up next. Hope you guys are really excited for it. I obviously cannot wait to ride this thing. Gonna make some really awesome content comparing the CR250 with the 450 and just doing a whole bunch of other really awesome stuff. And obviously, I can't wait to show you guys the kit that we're going and the theme that we're going for with this. It is a replica bike. That's why I'm going with all the orange stuff. I know a couple of you guys were pretty skeptical about that in the last video, but like I said, just trust me, it's gonna be sick. And it probably won't stay that way forever. I'll stick with this replica kit for a little while, but once I get bored of it, I'll probably swap the wheel set back out for just a standard one and then put the graphics on it to match whatever my 450 is at the time. But definitely very excited for the replica kit that we have going for right now. But anyways guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Part 3 will be coming very soon because I'm gonna film it right after this. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We'll catch you in the next one guys. Peace out.